Hello everyone, welcome to Lever Guns 50. Today we're going to shoot this metal plate right here. We're going to see if we can get through it with something. We're going to start out with like the 25-20, then we're going to shoot it with this 32-20, then we're going to move on up to the 32 Winchester Special, then we're going to move on up to the 38-55, and then we'll do the 348, and then we'll do the 45-90, and see which, if any of them will go through this 3/8 AR 500 metal plate. So we've shot it with a whole bunch of stuff before. We've shot it with just all kinds of pistol calibers and even some rifle calibers, even the 50 140 sharps. Of course, we did that at a little bit of range. So we're going to get back here and start shooting this thing. We're going to start out with, like I said, the 25-20, then the 32-20. Then keep moving up until we get to the 45-90. And see if any of them will go through it. Up first, we have the 25-20 with those little bitty cartridges. We're going to shoot it into that metal plate. What happens? I forgot to wear my hearing protection. I'm going to put them on right quick, and we're going to shoot the next gun. I'm going to give you let's see that little old tiny cartridge, what it looks like. There's that little tiny cartridge. All we have is a little tiny mark right there, 25-20, 60 grain bullet, 2,500 feet a second. Now we're going to shoot the little 32-20. We'll probably pop 2 or 3 shells down there real quick and see what it does. Now these right here are going pretty fast. They're doing, it's like an 90 grain bullet doing 2,000 feet a second. So they ain't the slow version. Okay. So we pop a couple of them down there real quick. Okay. We got 2 of them on there real quick. Let's pop a couple more maybe, or 1. Okay. Maybe, or 1. As we can see, there's just some little bitty tiny marks on there. They're not leaving anything. There's no dents, there's no damage. Those are 90 grain bullets doing 2,000 feet a second. Now we're shooting the 32 Winchester Special, which is this little bullet here. This bad boy is a 165 grain bullet doing like 2,400 feet a second. So it's boot scooting and boogieing out of this 94 Winchester. We're gonna see what it'll do. Whole lot more bang to it, wasn't it? Let's check it out and see if it left a mark. I bet it did leave a mark. That is the same size cartridge as the 30-30. It has about the same power, a little bit more, just a touch more. And let's see if it made it through. If it made it through, I'll be surprised. This right here is the 25-20. There's the 32 Winchester Special. It didn't even dent it. This bullet here going almost 2,600 feet a second. This bullet here doing almost 2,000, well, like right at 2,400 feet a second. Didn't even dent it. The next gun up is a 94 Winchester in 38-55, and this is a 200 grain spear bullet. We're going to shoot it down there. It's going like 2,200 feet a second, and I know that's kind of fast for a 38-55, but hey, this has the same build quality as the 375, and that's plenty good. So this shoots about the same speed as the buffalo bore, and so let's get to shooting. .38-55. Knocked it for a loop, but let's see what it did. Knocked it for a loop, but that one actually put a dent in it. Just a little bit of a dent, but it's a dent all the same. So there we have that one. 200 grain bullet, 2,200 feet a second. All right, next up is the 4570. There's a 350 grain bullet doing right at 2,000 feet a second, just a little over. Let's shoot that plate and see what it does. That had the most recoil of anything I've shot so far. That bullet was scooting and boogieing. It actually made a pretty good dent in it, but it didn't knock a hole in it, but it did pretty big dent in it. You know, 2,000, getting close to 2,100 feet a second. That was a really hot load for a 350 grain bullet. And plus it was a North Fork bullet, so the base of it was solid copper. So the nose of it was hollow with lead filled, but the base was solid copper. So it had about that much solid copper that hit that plate and still didn't knock a hole. Well, we're knocking them down. This here is the 348, and it's a 71 and 348 caliber. And this one here is using a 157 grain hollow point bullet. It's a hollow point, like I said, 57 grain bullet called the Hammer. Let's see if it hammers this or not. I don't necessarily see a hole in it, so that plate might have held up to the hammer. I'd say the hammer hammered it pretty good, but it didn't get through it. It put the biggest dent so far. That 57 grain bullet doing 3,200 feet a second. So let's shoot it with the 4590 with a 300 grain hollow point bullet doing 2,640 feet a second and see what it does. All right, we have the 4590. We're going to shoot it with this and see what happens. I don't know what happened. Let's go check it out. There we have it, 4590. It didn't make it through it either. But there's 4570, there's 4590. 4590 did not make it through, but it did do the biggest shakedown of any of them. So now we're gonna have to break out the big old 5110 and see if it gets through it. All right, we got the big old 1886 Winchester out here. It's kind of just like the 4590 caliber 1886, but this one is in 5110. This is a 50 caliber bullet. It's a 300 grain Fury bullet doing 2,960 feet a second. If anything will get through that steel plate, it'll be this. I mean, that's actually faster than the average 50 BMG. It's just a lot lighter bullet. So let's turn and shoot this thing and see what happens. Now we got a little bit of different angle, so that might be what's causing. I think the 4590, we've got it to go through that type of steel. We did cut the lead that stuck out from the copper jacket off, which might have made the difference, which we may do another bullet right quick and see if it'll go through. So let's shoot this and see what happens. It had a little bit more recoil than any of them other guns, but I think it got through. Let's check it out. So what do you think? You think it went through? Well, there's a nice clean hole right through it. Now I aimed over to the side so I wouldn't hit where those been hitting. I wanted to give it all the chance in the world to get through there without hitting the same spot. So anyhow, it went through, and this plate's just hanging, you know, there's nothing stopping it from rocking and flopping. So the 5110 made it through. We want to go back and probably they can make another video using a flat 348 bullet with no hollow point, and then a flat 4590 bullet with no hollow point. The rest of them were pretty much flat nose bullets, which in my opinion do the best job of punching through these steel plates. So let's go back and revisit it with another video on that. But for right now, this is all we got. God bless each and every one of you. I hope you come back and see me, you hear?